There. Are you happy with my answer?
Can't say I am.
Really? But it fits the stereotypes you humans have about gods.
Just moments ago, you were complaining about how infuriatingly complicated your work here has been. Work is work, I get it. There are times when it's a huge pain, but you just have to get it done, right?
That's a rather unique perspective for a human. You are in fact correct. There is a pain point in this case. Due to the obstruction in the theater's ley lines, there is a hard limit on the number of souls they can receive each day, making it impossible for me to ferry all your souls at once. Revealing my identity too soon would inevitably have led to futile resistance, and there was a risk that any souls who chose to run would disappear. Then there was the issue of the 2 lost souls you called the deceased. The way you resolved that quandary was all part of my design.
That's what I don't understand. If all of us were souls of the dead, what made their presence among us special?
For centuries, they have refused to return to the ley lines, exploiting the issues created by the angel civilization to resist being drawn in. Centuries of obsession accumulated during this process. You may think of this obsession as the resentment of the dead, and in this quantity, it was a bomb that could have detonated at any moment. It reached the point where I could not afford to leave it unchecked. But the only way to fix it was to help them acknowledge their own deaths, make peace with their regrets, and willingly walk into the snowstorm. Only then, with my guidance, could they finally return to the ley lines. Otherwise, you would not like to know what the consequences would have been.
I vaguely remember seeing Patashka, but in the most terrifying form. Was that in a dream? Is that what would have become of her if she hadn't returned to the ley lines?
I see your dreams brought you many revelations. So you see, death in fact grants wisdom to mortals. Souls connect to all things in the world and see the chain of cause and effect between them. It's nothing unusual. Anyway, giving psychological counseling to lost souls is not my strong suit. That is more of an angel's role. It was something I could not resolve directly using my authority, so I decided it was easier to leave the bomb defusal to you. Meanwhile, of course, their presence caused the souls of other members of your party to return to the ley lines each night. From where I stand, that was killing two birds with one stone. As both issues slowly resolved one another without me having to lift a finger, all I had to do was stay close by and keep the situation under control. Then use my authority to wrap things up at the end. And, of course, while I was at it, I thoroughly enjoyed watching this drama, dealing with death from a mortal perspective, play out on the stage.
Sounds like you had it all figured out, Grim Reaper. I just did the math. You said there's a hard limit to the number of souls the ley lines here can receive each day. It's 2, isn't it?
That much is obvious, even to a fool.
It's time to review this whole affair. If the ley lines can only take in 2 people per day, I need to go over the deaths from these past few days again. Looking back now, none of us had the faintest idea at the time. From the moment that staff member named Demoff walked into the snowstorm, the incident had already begun. Alosha was the second to walk into the snowstorm after Demoff to investigate. During this process, the ruler of death assumed his identity, making him one of the victims. During our first night in the theater, everyone was caught up in the novelty of it all. No one could have expected there would be victims the very next morning. Despite all the confusion, and with the help of hindsight, we finally began to realize that something was amiss with the snowstorm. The ley lines devoured Torgov and Sobolova on the first night. At the time, we thought this might be a murder case connected to Lelik. Odette and I spoke a lot that night. 3 people were on watch, but in the morning, we discovered that someone had fallen victim all the same. The deaths of Kulish and Rampana caused everyone to stop suspecting Lelik. Unexplainable phenomena occurred one after another, leading Mitya to suspect that we were caught up in a supernatural event. Later, we discovered that there seemed to be an extra person among us, and subsequently discovered the existence of the deceased. Mr. Schramm realized he was the deceased and walked into the snowstorm to return to the ley lines of his own accord. It turns out there really was a dead person among us. He thought it was all over, but Mr. Valeri's death was a rude awakening for everyone. The ley lines consumed him during the night regardless. A lot happened today. Mr. Valeri's death led us to discover the connection between the number of deceased and the number of victims during the night. The fact that there was more than one deceased seemed to bring us back to square one. Odette revealed some information she had been keeping to herself. Although Mitya did indeed walk into the snowstorm that day, he returned from the ley lines with the help of Vodyanitsa's Requiem. The void in the ley lines hasn't been filled, so let's rule out Mitya for now. Vodyanitsa was swallowed by the ley lines in her sleep, but the Requiem she sang before falling asleep was quite a game changer. As it happened, Patashka filled the void left by Mitya's return from the ley lines by walking into the snowstorm this morning. The girl I thought was child sister Tonya turned out to be another of the theater's deceased. Come to think of it, Patashka was about to walk into the snowstorm at that time, and Renova, unaware that Mitya would return, was concerned that her soul would overflow from the ley lines. That's why she used Alosha's voice to try and persuade her to stay behind. Looking back, I suppose that was an early slip-up on her part. No one could have expected anyone who walked into the snowstorm to return. But just after nightfall, Mitya returned, bringing crucial information with him. Various truths began to surface, including that all of us were already dead and that the ruler of death was here among us. Then, after revealing her true form, Renova callously claimed 2 souls. In fact, everyone was already dead by the time we took the photo. And in the days since, we've experienced many more partings in the afterlife. Now, only Mitya and I remain, and the true culprit behind everything still stands before us. In Mitya's eyes, I see the same anger and frustration that I feel. That covers everything. It's all clear now.
Your work isn't finished here yet, is it? The Traveler and I are still standing here, safe and sound.
The water imp's song threw things off a little, but it is of no consequence. The ley lines have already anchored your soul, and the first ray of light tomorrow morning will take you back. I, meanwhile, need to review my attitude towards the water imp race.
So the reunion in the night that Vodyanitsa mentioned, I suppose that was never meant to be a permanent reunion.
That just leaves you, Traveler. My power only allows me to temporarily separate your soul from your body. The ley lines of Tevat would not accept you, and your soul is firmly anchored to your body by your will. For a descender like you, who is not bound by Tevat's rules, your death can only be brought through the most violent of means, such as directly destroying either your body or soul. I have no interest in involving myself with Descenders, for now. Although, this may change if Asmodee remains missing, or you insist on interfering